Yeah, so I was using all these birds as kind of agents of narrative, but they started kind of taking over and becoming the kind of central characters in the painting. So, I had effectively had kind of nudes and human figures with all these other kind of things representing these frozen thoughts. But then I just started taking out the people, and they became their own kind of narrative stories effectively. And then it sort of grew and grew from there. And I think the first one that I did that had just an animal and that was quite successful was a polar bear. And I had this, and I'd called it Exhale, and you can see it if you go on my website.
Yeah, I
And
know the one.
yeah. And I love the idea that, the things you say go on to influence other things or other people, or again, they're like expressed thoughts and desires and dreams and hopes, and out they come of you, and they sort of go off and have their own
Yeah.
lives, and you know uh, and so I had done this polar bear effectively sort of exhaling this big cloud of kind of moths and butterflies, and I really enjoyed making it because I liked the idea of the bear because it felt like this very strong figure, but at the same time, sort of terribly vulnerable and fragile. And they're the most ferocious thing I can think of, apart from, a shark, really. Um, whilst at the same time being kind of critically in trouble. And so you sort of, I felt a bit like it as a woman and as a mother, and there's all those other things that I am and was. And I made it for me. And I was very surprised when it was actually really sort of well received by other people. Um, and it sort of gave me the confidence to just continue just only making these creatures, which I was worried that because they were sort of animal paintings, that they would potentially be sort of cheesy, or, too much in that sort of, it's a fine line that I
Yeah.
walk because I make paintings using animals and I paint kind of animal narratives, that they could go easily into kind of cheesy territory or kind of whimsical territory, which I don't enjoy the idea of, because for me they're not at all whimsical or kind of cute, or because they're talking a lot of the time about the sort of dark aspects of being a human and things like that. So
Mm.
when that was well received, but in a way that wasn't seen as kind of cute or too whimsical or anything like that, I thought, yeah, I can actually walk this line. It seems like a knife edge, but it seems as though I'm able to walk it.
Yeah, you can go there.